Welcome to our lovely future humans and our 5D collective. Let's chit chat before our stories a little bit about the power of neuroplasticity when being yourself with mastery and love, not change. Okay, so as a 5D mystic mentor, content creator, podcast host, I get to tell you all the Christ consciousness frequency, the love frequency, bringing it to you the human way, being yourself the smart way, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. Sciences and spirituality come together, and as our lovely ascension energies continue, we're getting to master our 8th and ninth chakra. Remember, I'm preparing a Patreon membership content for those of you who do daily practices with positive resilience, the restorative embodiment. So you're able to harness your nervous system. That's why you do know angels don't wear armor. The ones who do wear armor, it's unfortunate business because, as Ruth Lanius points out, the whole goal of trauma treatment is to help people feel safe in their bodies, but they don't go to trauma treatment. So we will leave 3D, 4D to their own frequency as they decide what they're going to do, and I'm going to be making fun of them here. They're all teenager versions of themselves. Okay, so the highest level of spirituality people, we leave them alone because the unhealthy, self-soothing human beings are fakes. They're all like Cusco, and they're living their 0 8-year-olds, and their teenager thinks they're actually brilliant, but their subconscious is not, because they're automatically bringing their non-metabolized trauma to the wheelhouse. So for us in our day-to-day, it doesn't matter. They use the dark sides of neuroplasticity. So for us, we are able to be open-hearted, open-gutted, open-minded because we're neutral, and then we're also aware that we're all nervous systems, so you can't actually lie to anyone. But you leave alone please appeasers, attached criers, collapsed submitters, hostiles, doomsdayers, ghosts. Are we good? And there's another one, doers. I already said that. So the people who don't take Patrichan seriously or Terra real. And so, meantime, for us, why does the power of neuroplasticity work? Because our body is not in survival mode, and so we're out of that which is a sympathetic that needs not to be engaged with our lovely brothers and sisters. And when we're crying or angry or afraid, we have healthy fear. So fear always sticks around, but we're leading with love, the oxytocin gene hormone. Okay, so open-ended inquiry, when you have no goal, as you contemplate thoughts and you contemplate feelings, the feelings come up first. You are forcing, even though we have fun with it because this is the opportunity. So inner conflict, no, inner growth, the mindset. So when you look at the prefrontal cortex, which is why we are in the here and now, it is being present, attuning, resonating, and trusting. And within yourself, you are building this strength and courage. But really what it is you're working your window of welcome to the emotional depths of you and the mental depths of you. And so with curiosity, you continue to explore the sense of self because you stay with it. There's no energy vampires. There's no gas lighting that can confuse you. Okay, so you have that which is called self-empowerment. And so with the growth mindset, this what stories I'm going to tell you, you don't lose yourself. You grow emotionally and mentally intelligent, and then you will leave those who are low frequency alone, because why would you waste your time and your life away? They're wasting it. So when you meet people who are drinking, drugging, fucking, inner, outer critic, they continue to be very much the not brilliant versions of themselves. They could transform themselves by going to therapy, then becoming their whole 3-year-old heart, getting out of shame completely, being finally shame-free, and then knowing, like we do, all our brothers and sisters are perfect because God's perfect. And that the ones who are not and who are still suffering life, well, it's not something that we can do anything about if they don't want to sit in open-ended inquiry, because you don't handle your habitual brain default mode network the way that some of us do. So neuroplasticity, like neurobiology, like neuroscientists, like all the good scientists have explained, going with the flow. And so when we deal with unknowns, uncertainties, unexpected, and unwanteds from within us, we go with the flow, the 3 main modules of the Inner Growth Mindset program. And the key to us is mastery, because why would you not want to be the person that continuously expands? So we don't change. I don't change who I am who I am. You welcome me for who I am. And being yourself feels good. And then when somebody tries to shame you, you don't feel that you have anything to be ashamed of because you have integrity. And the only ones who want to keep on poking at each other are the same ones who they were not actually growing up with safety. So they had parents who decided you owe me because I'm a parent, or that they're going to be on, you're on your own. And so when somebody wasn't brought up with safety, they think that people owe them something or that you're going to ditch it. It's one extreme or another. Well, if you're securely attached, non-traumatized, you don't owe me shit. I don't owe you shit. I will not leave you hanging out to dry like my facade friend just because you're an asshole. I'm going to help you up. I'm going to bring you to where you need to be. And I won't be thinking, I do everything for people. So the functional child adults are who come to IHP, which is why our challenges, there's no challenge that you can't meet when it comes to mental and emotional activity. It's always an opportunity and fun. So we are not martyrs, we're not superiors, we're not victims. We don't think that humanity needs to be punished. We do know that therapy is hard for those who have never been parented. Thank you, Patrick Tiahan. As he points out, he's a good childhood trauma survivor, healed and healing therapist. He says a good therapist, trauma therapist, is like a healthy parent. They will seek to know, they will seek to remember, they will guide, they will care for, they will bond, and they will enjoy the relationship. And instead, he says, for childhood trauma survivors, the idea of being parented got wrecked. And so they raised themselves and they had toxic parents and toxic everythings. And basically, it feels like a betrayal or a manipulation or hypocrisy to basically get somebody who cares about you. And so when you find a healer, he says, you can experience deep shame since having a caring person in front of you is so foreign and necessary. And the inner child feels like they are bad for needing it or getting the attention. Being seen can be uncomfortable in the beginning, he says. And then he says we can also experience defiance, freak out, or feeling like we are being controlled. These are all aspects of protective mode. Staying and tolerating being parented is part of the work when the therapist healer is safe. So obviously this is for people who go to therapy and then come out and then be able to enjoy relationships. For those of us who don't need the therapy, it's because we are actively able to build security attached, non-traumatized relationships. And so when we have emotions come up, we don't point a finger at somebody and think that they have to do something or that they owe us something, and that's why betrayal and heartbreak, it's not something we're gonna hang over someone's head in this way that you see teenagers, is what I call 3D 4D, because somebody wanted to watch their fucking back 10 ways. Go to therapy, because your gut, if it's a good gut, you don't need to watch your fucking back. If you're a functional child adult, you don't look at relationships as, oh my god, they betrayed me, how dare they. So when I see some things, I'm like, okay, just because, hold on, we get to share parts of ourselves that we don't share with anyone else or anywhere else, that doesn't mean that the bond has to stay solid, because it might not. As Terry Real points out, who makes men and women into men and women in days, meaning emotional grown-ups, it's a risk. A relationship is always a risk. And so we're not afraid of that, because why would you be afraid of getting into relationships unless you're looking for reassurance? And that's why the securely attached 1-year-old, it's really fun to have a securely attached 1-year-old. You also know that your mother is not your first karma, or your father necessarily. And so here's where every spiritual mystic will have different stories, and they will know that their story is going to be something that involves potentially dharma, potentially karma, not good or bad, but the part about what you have with every parent. So when you hear like blanket statements, one size fits all, that's what I'm trying to say. Those are people who will tend to associate together because they're like a flat earthers group. They need to have each other. They're non-differentiated selves. The neuroplasticity, the power of it, is for those who are masters of themselves the bright way, because it's I'm me and you're you, and we differentiate. So I will think and feel certain ways, you will think and feel your ways, and then we come together and have a good time. And so we do know that micro cheating is not something we're going to care about. Polyamory or monoamory, securely attached people aren't going to think that somebody is micro cheating. Okay, and that's because we are securely attached human beings. So your 1-year-old is what I'm trying to point to, because we all as mammals will want one securely attached figure. Attachment categories and attachment research shows this. And that's why it's very important to know why we want to bond. So our hearts can break. No, our hearts get sad because we want to bond. And that's why with your oversoul, your immediate, your extended, like twin flames, it's not a saga or a drama, but you can better bet that those masculines are completely not where they could be. And masculine is not about a man. It's about the left brain or people who don't have two sides of the brain working. So they're going to use the dark sides of neuroplasticity, shut themselves in, shame, blame, fault, revenge. They're going to continue thinking they're brilliant and they're only like a Cusco. And in the meantime, we're going to notice that because while we have the power of the bright sides of neuroplasticity, because we're being our true selves, we're mastered of it. I'm a master since I was a kid. I said to my teenage boyfriend, I don't change. This is who I am. You don't want it. There's a door. That's it. So you're able to cry it out. I was 4 when I got rejected. I was 8 when I got disowned. These are things that I think I don't need a Medal of Honor for crying while creating resilience, the good way. Okay, so open-ended inquiry, and just in case you're confused, being in the here and now, prefrontal cortex, curious, open, accepting, loving. I can do that with my own self because I own, observe, witness, narrate my sense of self. These are Dr. Daniel Siegel's acronyms. He helps me remember how to tell you why going with the flow, neuroplasticity agents or neuroscientists, they're the ones who explain it. Selfless, timeless, effortless, richness. You will experience it as you're expanding light body, light body, light body, rainbow body. Right here, integrated brain. There's Dr. Daniel Siegel. So my brain stays like this. My default mode network. It don't need to scan me and you. When somebody has a habitual brain, instead that's helpless, like lovely Basil Vanderkolk informed me. That's why every time there's ascension energies, the helpless kids, they continue to do shit shows. I'm not fascinated. I knew they would stick around 3D, 4D. It's unfortunate business, but it's none of my business because they continue to think that they are doing great with their lightning. They don't want to get out of this. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's actually stupid, but go tell them that. They think equanimity is a lie, that we're pretending and that we're faking it, and that we actually are the spiritual bypassers. While spiritual bypassing means you didn't heal yourself, all your child parts. It's not because I can be a happy person all the time when I'm anchored in ventral energy. And someone who says you can't always be on, they don't know how to wield their own nervous system. So remember that the neuroscientists know all about how high performing your body is. The ones who pretend to be high performing will tell you they did it all by themselves and they have armor on. The ones who are actually clarifying this, wisdom, it's clarity and diffusing of conflict. You're going to be yourself when you know how to use the prefrontal. When you can open a heart, be compassionate, and even if someone treated you like a little piece of shit, you can say, get up, I'm going to help you get up. Because even if you push me down, I see that you're really on the floor. I'm still going to help you get up. You know why? Because I'm not going to go away with shame. I'm so selfish to the point of where I have integrity. While backstabbers, liars, cowards, guess what they do? This is the reason you don't copy a coward, because that would make you a coward too. Hypocrites. There's no Lucifer. There's only the ones who are hypocrites. When you actually know how to do things the humanly speaking right way. A man who says that his confidence can be eroded if I turn away means it's an insecure man, because they didn't learn how they work. They don't have their personality patterns. They don't have their securely attached body. They don't own their child parts. They basically just say, we're society. Yeah, we're society, all right, but you better bet I'm not going to follow the buffoons who don't know how to walk a walk and talk a talk. College students fucking each other, STDs, fraternities, sororities that sounded like shit, thinking that you're doing some great job networking while I'm thinking you allowed yourself to be humiliated and what? You made tarot cards to fuck each other again? Oh, wow. This is really, gosh. So that's how it works when you are an empowered person. It's not about you not being able to, you can fuck whoever you want. It's, did you get out of shame yet? Because shame, blame, fault, revenge ain't a pretty thing inside. And that's why the dark sides of neuroplasticity, those people who consistently didn't notice, I met a bunch that they could have gotten better, and actually it's very sad to see as they spiral down and consistently spiral somewhere called inside their own body, self-loathing, gut wrench, torn apart, which is why your body even protects you. The armored stuff that the scientists say a body will eventually get in, God is so good to his children that he'll protect them from suffering. Akash source. Your body will protect you from that which is your own tearing. So you can watch somebody as they wither away like Dorian Gray. Do you think this? It's not funny to watch human beings who are suffering every day of their life think that you're the buffoon while you think you can get freaking healed. I have no right to tell you that because I've been told by the good therapist that I say I'm not you. I'm a spiritual mystic. I support personal growth, spiritual growth. I don't do what you do, but I see a bunch of people. What do I do when they have to want it. They have to want it. You can't heal what you don't acknowledge. So drug addicts, alcoholics, sex addicts, shame addicts, anyone who's pretending to be a badass, you'll see who they are. They will continue talking shit about humanity because they think it's an unfair world, because they suffer life, because they're afraid of humanity. I'm not afraid of humanity. There's two kinds of humanity. the humanity, and the ones who haven't gotten there yet. They think they are divinity, and yet they don't realize that there can't be divinity. If they were, then magical batons, where are you? And instead, what I notice is the ones who think they are it have a good group and a bad group. I'm like, we're all humans. We're either the healthy fear humans with love, or the unhealthy fear humans who we won't want to do anything about, because that's not nice to be near somebody who had a shitty beginning to life, and that shit went down in ways that led them to spiral and continue to stay in what is unfortunate business. A fool with a tool is still a fool. They got words like we do. The difference is we can tell if they're living the highest level of spirituality or not, and you won't heal what you don't acknowledge. And the people who are not stronger than their dysfunctional patterns, I got Pinocchio friends that told me in my face, yep, we're going to keep drinking, Maria, and we're going to keep on treating ourselves like shit. And I'm like, well, addiction is a disease of more. Most addictive behaviors are maladaptive responses to unresolved trauma. Addictions have consequences, but they feel good. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, really, are you sure you think it's great? Yeah, okay, I can't do anything about that. So you leave it alone, because again, they will have a way to tell you that you are the boring one. I have plenty of friends who call me boring. I'm like, look, I drink a little bit. I smoke a little cigar. I just don't exaggerate. I'm on a good diet now. My 5D Mystic Skeptic Nutritionist Diary. It's going well. I'm going to have to update you guys. I think I might wait till I go for a walk in my new location so I can share with you all the woes of, the woes of food, different from Naples, Italy food. You do not have a choice about being in physical pain, but you can always choose not to suffer. Thank you, Sadhguru. So, the power of neuroplasticity. We use the bright sides. Going with the flow. I can thank lovely God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit. And that's because all of my brothers and sisters are angels. As a mystic, divinity does descend on you once you overflow in humanity, which is why you know you ain't it, and you know it is always perfect, which is why we're not afraid of the future. It's also why we don't live based on the past and the ones who decided that the scientists are bad, Jojo and Juju. Really? Science proves that every person can have the kingdom of God lit from within them by being healthy in their emotional plane, which means knowing how to self-regulate, which means knowing how to be restorative embodied, self-aware, accountable, regulating people. The ones who have good resiliency, welcome aboard. And that's the only people who will be here, because inspiring human potential, it's not just mystics, spiritual, mindful. It's all leaving a legacy. Any one of you, I don't plan on deleting any stuff. So what I'm going to say is be yourself. The best advice I could be given anyone. But in order to be yourself, you say, that's a red flag, number one. And that means you first go transform yourself, you reparent, become the grown-up, get your emotional body online, get your mental body online, and then you say, I went there. Then no, you don't come back here. Some will say, but they really try to make us just always get over our feelings. Okay, you don't want to do it. It's okay. You can whine and cry about it with your temporal junction. Just go be a teenager about it. And that's why people don't like people like us, and they just have to say, you pretend. You're faking it, or you are my teenage friends. You're faking it, or that I was so cold and insensitive. I'm like, I'm not. You're making a big deal about a breakup, and you're sounding vicious, and I promised Jesus, God, and Holy Spirit that I wouldn't be mean, and you're making me very uncomfortable, because I like to keep my promises to God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. You are human, and you're in flesh. You're made like I'm made, and I can tell that you're being mean right now. And when someone gets a breakup and they become mean because somebody broke up with them, that's not, let me watch my fucking back. It's not, they betrayed me again. They did it. Okay, so pause. We're going to have story time, because I'm going to talk to y'all about lovely masculines. It's not men. It's just the masculines in general. And actually, I'm probably going to change that wording in our story time. So for now, be yourself, and come back if you do enjoy the bright sides of neuroplasticity, and you enjoy positive resilience, which means you know how to be a smart human being. And then you know that bad resilience seeps through the pores of anyone. They can do all the health, nutrition they want. If they didn't get their body, their nervous system in the forefront, don't matter. We all are motivated differently, which is why mastery of yourself. I have it, and I continue to have it. It's amazing to be brought forth all the 3D, 4D. I am making the best of it, God, see? So when I became an Akashic record reader, I found out that we master our mental, emotional, and physical plane. I'm going to continue this in our next stories. Okay, so you can come back for more if you want. In the meantime, welcome aboard to the 5D Collective of Mystic, Spiritual, Mindful, Living, Loving People. Again, I'll keep you posted on our content as I will roll out with that lovely practice for our 8th and 9th chakras. Things are happening. It's going to be fun. And once our tiers are open, we're going to have even more fun. And so we'll be back with more